Now, your program ultimately will be judged on the medals that it earns.
Yep.
I mean, you can talk about the team getting younger. You can talk about number of ISAF World Cup victories and race wins, but ultimately it comes down to medals. I mean, it's pretty harsh.
It is.
But the reality of it is that you are dealing with what is given to you. The athletes are something that get developed through the system in the United States.
Yep.
And then from that, they have this Olympic dream. Ultimately, they get connected with the team, and the team does that. The coaches and the administrators and facilitators within the team can do, only what they're given, really.
Sure.
Now,
well, yes and no, but
yeah,
I see where you're going.
Yeah. Now, but in terms of the athletes that come into the U.S. program, what would you consider the strengths, the general strengths of the athlete coming into the U.S. program?
Lots and lots of short course dinghy racing over and over and over. Our high school sailing and our college sailing are defined by those characteristics. So we definitely have repetitions through the high school and the college ranks where there's regattas every weekend, and every day these kids are doing 15 races. But let's go back to a second. How a program is judged, and I agree with you completely that at the end of the day, the vast majority of people will judge a program like ours by your success every 4 years, and we haven't shied away from that. I mean, we've embraced it actually, and I think it's one way of telling people or showing people that we're focused on our true mission. But when my 8 years are over in 18 months, regardless of how many medals we win, I'll look at the program and judge it in some additional ways. And some people will see that, and others won't, and that's okay. That's the world we live in. But there are other ways to judge the last 8 years. Are we handing a program that is more sustainable, that has broader support, that has greater support, that has a better collaborative training culture among the athletes than we did before? And all those things are true. I mean, we used to be $1 million a year program where every kid and every team had to recreate everything for themselves from beginning to end. That's no longer the case. Now a young kid, you mentioned, the kids that come to us with the dreams. The reality is if you do a good job building a program, more kids can actually have a realistic chance of pursuing their dream because there is a program there to support them. And that is really what we're trying to do. The better job we do building this program, the more potential Olympians and potential medalists will see it as a true avenue of opportunity. And then our base coming into the Olympic program gets broader. That's really, how our leadership group is thinking of the last 8 years and the next 12 to 16 years. Is if we continue to grow our program and continue to grow the way it is perceived, then more and more kids will say, hey, wait a minute, you know what, I'm willing to put 4 or 6 or 8 years into that because there's something there to support me. And the more kids that we have doing that, then it starts to funnel up. But there's no question, at the end of the day, the vast majority of people are going to look at the medal count. And you know what, my good friend Colin, who will get a chuckle out of hearing me use this phrase, reminds me all the time, it's a results-based world. And that's okay, that's the world we live in. We're fine with that.